Hold on, let me just thank you, Mr. Bonds. Cool, cool. Why does it keep taking me to the wrong slide? Bear with me, guys. Oh, that's why. Cool, cool, cool. Bear with. This guy's hilarious. So, guys, before I get started, like I said, this is a leadership conversation. This isn't the type of calls that we have on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Thursday for customers. You guys are all leaders in your own rights, right? So, what I expect is leader traits, meaning cameras on, guys, immediately. Please, cameras on, cameras on, cameras on. I don't want to be talking to myself. For sure, because this information that I'm going to go through, every single person needs to hear. And when you have your camera off, that just shows me you're not listening and you're probably watching Love Island or EastEnders or something that's so irrelevant that's not going to get you paid. If you want to get paid, put your camera on. Okay, cool. Not going to spend much more time on that. So today, what we are going to be going through, right? Oh, that's all right. That's all right, Amelia. You're good. You're good. Unless you're feeding your baby, put your camera on. Right? Archie, you don't have a baby. Behave. All right. Cool. Let's get straight into it, guys. So all jokes aside now, let's get to the seriousness of this, okay? So what I want to go through today is the importance of mentorship and relationships, right? So quick disclaimer, if you feel like I'm talking about you on this call, I probably am. If the shoe fits, wear it. But no, in all seriousness, whatever I go through on my journey, these are things I'm going through on my journey and things that I'm learning along the way. So as soon as I learn it, I feel like just bring it to the team and share value. Right? There's no point keeping it to myself. So a lot of the things that I'm going to go through don't just apply to you, it applies to myself too, right? So just take that with a pinch of salt, guys. So the importance of mentorship and relationships. Guys, please make sure you're taking notes on this one. This ain't a joke right now. Okay? This is something that is very, very important. So the importance of it. Now, questions. Where did you get most of your results? Where did they come from? Like, obviously, you got your results, but who gave you the answer or the idea as to how to get your results? Whether it's from trading, whether it's from network marketing, just in this industry, every result you got, where did the idea come from? Like, this is actually a question I'm asking you guys. Did you just join the company and the idea just popped into your head, or did someone tell you how to do it? I want to know. Mentor. Exactly. So pretty much everything that we do, everything that we're good at, came from our mentors at some stage, right? We didn't just walk into this industry and just have all of these amazing ideas and now we're flying. Nope, we've been duplicating, all right? So just bear that in mind. So another question. What rank do you aspire to be at the end of this year and the end of next year? So that's two answers for that one question, guys. I want to see it in the chat box. How many of us are on this call right now? We've got 41. I want to see 41 answers. Well, actually, that'll be 82. So what ranks do you want to be at the end of this year and the end of next year? Director, 5K at the end of this year, 15K at the end of next. Director, diamond. Okay. Archie, you just want one rank. So you want to end this year and end the next year the same rank, I'm guessing. Elite. Okay. So maybe I expected more answers. So maybe a lot of us on here don't want ranks. So I'm going to speak to the people that actually do, okay? So if you haven't answered, maybe this conversation isn't for you. But if you have, I'm talking directly to you, right? So how are you going to get to your next rank? You will not achieve this without your team, without mentees in your team, and without leaders in your team. And it's a team sport, it's not a solo one. So what that means is every single rank that you guys put in the chat box, you're not going to get there by yourself. Period. Like Nicola said on her call, find one director that signed up 500 people by themselves and got to director. I'll wait. You're probably not going to find one because in our industry, I don't think we've came across one. So that just means we need a team, guys. And one of the most important parts of having a team is having a team that is coachable. And your team can't be coachable unless you are, right? So I want everyone to describe your perfect mentee or your sign up. So who could you sign? Not who, but what type of person, what traits do they have? That's the perfect sign up. Like if you could really sign someone that changes your whole business, what type of traits do they have? Coachable, driven, speedy, eager, ambitious, good energy, vision, urgent. Oh, some good answers today. Coachable, ambitious. Exactly, right? And the reason why I asked you that question is because you will attract what you are. So out of them answers that you guys gave me, does that describe you? It might not. But that's a more of a rhetorical question that you want to ask yourself. The answers you gave, does that describe you? Because you're gonna attract exactly what you are, right? If you're a good mentee, you will attract such and vice versa. If you don't listen to what anyone says, don't expect a single person in your team to listen to a single word you say because you attract exactly what you are. Remember, when people join the business, a lot of the time they're attracted to who you are. Who you are is a lot of your actions. And if your actions aren't following what your mentor does, you're just gonna go over the same cycle again and again, where you're not listening, your team's not listening because you taught them not to listen, and you're just teaching them the same stupidness that you've learned. Sorry, not sorry. Right? So if you attract good mentees, what will happen to your rank? You guys tell me, I don't know. If you attract good mentees, what is going to happen to your income? Is it going to go down? There you go. It's going to go up. Exactly, right? So your success lies in who you are. People are watching, your team are watching, and that's pretty much where it is. That's where most of the direction comes from. Because if your team are looking up to you and you're looking up to somebody else, they're gonna feel a lot more comfortable looking up to you. You get what I'm saying? So perfect. Now, how do we, oh, sorry, let me move this up. So how do we become the perfect mentee ourselves? Like Josh went through not long ago, the four keys to success. This is the most simplest ways. Oh, I wasn't meant to show this yet, but we're here anyway. So the four keys to success. Who are you listening to? Right? Who are you listening to, right? Oh, this is so key. This is like your part of your diet, right? Remember, your diet is everything you intake. It's not just food that goes in your mouth. It's everything you hear, everything you see, and pretty much that, right? So I'll give you guys an example as to why who you're listening to plays a massive, massive role in your life, right? So I'll give you guys a little story. So this morning, I was with a good friend of mine, right? And let's say my friend was listening to gospel music and I shouldn't have been, hands up. I was listening to rap music, right? He was listening to gospel music, I was listening to rap music. We got stopped by police for a routine traffic stop, but we reacted very, very differently. Very differently. Why? Because of the information that we're taking in. Does that make sense? Put a one if you're with me, put a two if that has no, if I'm making no sense to you. So your diet, meaning what you take in, your intake is very important. So who you now back to this industry, who you listening to makes a lot of sense. Are you going to listen to yourself or are you going to listen to someone that actually has the results you do? Right? Teachability index. Your willingness to learn combined with your willingness to change. Like a lot of people are willing to learn, but they're so comfortable in their ways, they're not willing to change. They're comfortable being who they are. They don't want to change these things. They don't want to stop watching EastEnders. They don't want to stop listening to the music they're listening to. They want to be the exact same. And that's fine if you do, but you have absolutely no complaints if you think if in a year from now you haven't grown and neither has your income, right? So you're training balance skills. So your spiritual side plus the skill set. It's a lot more to what we do than just being skillful. There's a lot of people in this industry that have a lot of skills, and maybe they aren't where they need to be because there's it's a full package. So you need to get your spiritual game correct also. But I'm not going to get into that because that's a whole nother conversation. Process of mastery. So your time it's just like anything. We're only ever good at anything because we put time into it. Practice. It's just like walking. How many times did we attempt to walk before we got it right? How many times did we attempt to talk before we got it right? Only because we put in enough time and effort into these things is to how we're successful at doing it. Now we make mistakes. We main thing is learning from your mistakes and improving. It's just like I said, fundamentals. Walking, you fall over when you're learning to walk. When you're talking as a baby, you make a lot of mistakes. But you learn from your mentors, you learn from your parents, you learn from the people who know how to walk, you know how to talk. You don't just figure it out yourself, right? So it's basic information that you guys probably already know, but you need to digest it. It's one thing listening to it, and it's another thing understanding, right? I'm gonna say that again. It's one thing listening to it, and it's a whole nother thing understanding. Okay? Cool. Now, why? Why do I need to listen to somebody other than myself? Because, in all honesty, if you had the answers, guys, we would not be here having this conversation. I promise you, you would have, if you had all of the answers, you would have never signed up to anyone's link because you'd probably be rich already. Am I right or am I right? Your decisions, your lifelong decisions, is what led you to where you are today. Now, granted, we did make a lot of good decisions, hence why we actually are here. But if we had all the answers from the jump, none of us would be here. So, what does that show you? The answers lie within somebody else. From the first moment we walk in, we don't know what we're doing. We're told what to do, or we're advised what to do. Hence, why we get our wins, we get our results, and we grow. That didn't just come from us, right? How do you know you've got the right answer if you've never done it, right? How many on? Put a one in the chat if you have your driver's license here. Cool. So you guys obviously took driving lessons. How many of you guys would have taken driving lessons from someone who don't know how to drive, or someone who thinks they know how to drive? They have a theory. Would you take lessons from them? No, you wouldn't take lessons from them. And now that you're not going to take a lesson from them, are you going to take lessons from yourself? No, you're not. You're going to go to someone who's an expert in that field to teach you how to drive. Hence, it's just this the same situation here. There's no difference. So, and another thing, the mentors have proven repeatedly they know what they're talking about. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in the position they're in. They generally wouldn't. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to get into that, but yeah, they wouldn't be in the position and they clearly have more experience, right? So it's all well and good having an idea or thinking you know the right answer. And maybe you do. But for the 95% chance or 90% of the time, you don't. You generally don't. So another thing, if you learn from someone that has the results you want, chances are you'll get the same results that they have in a shorter time frame. Did you think about that? You know? Like, I'm not gonna go into the details of it, but pay attention to what's going on. Look at look at people in this industry, how long they've been here, and then compare it to yourself. How quick did you get to your destination? Or how quick are you getting wins? How quick did you get to 700, 1K, 2K? How quick did you get there? Probably quicker than your upline. That doesn't mean you're better than them or smarter than them at all. They've just given you the blueprint and given you probably their mistakes that they've made so you didn't have to make them, and you got fast track to the top. It is what it is, right? So if it's just you making all the decisions, the choices and ideas, how on earth are you going to know it's wrong before it's too late? How? I hope you guys are taking notes because this ain't a joke. How are you going to know you're wrong until you've actually made the mistake? How now, when your mentor's talking to you and they give you an idea, or if you're discussing your idea with your mentor, they would know if you're right or wrong because they've done it. They would have made that mistake or they would have made that correct decision. So they know how to give you the answer. It's just like being a parent, you know? When your kids might not see the certain mistakes or certain roads that they're going down, you've seen it. You've seen it all before as parents, I'm saying. It's just the same thing here, guys. It's so simple, but it's just as humans, we really complicate it sometimes. But sometimes I think we need to go back to stuff like this to just, give ourselves a bit of a reset sometimes and just go again. Like we can get a bit, I'll get into that later, but sometimes this journey can get a bit tough, let's say. So sometimes just bring it back to the basics and go again. Okay. Now, mentee and mentorship. Is this the right one? Yes. Mentee and mentorship, guys. Oh my gosh, this is so important. Now, this relationship is about honor and respect, right? Your mentor has chosen to give you their time, chosen to. They have many mentees. You have one or maybe two, if you're lucky, mentors, right? So bear that in mind, right? They have options, and it's not to say you'd have options. No, you don't actually have options because if you did, like I said, you wouldn't be here, right? But let's say who could we say? Captain, Mr. Bonds, got 500 plus people in the team, right? Do you think he could speak to every single person every minute of the day in a 24-hour day? Of course not. Of course not. So if you're lucky enough or fortunate enough to be hearing from your mentor and to have that relationship with your mentor, not just talking about Mr. Bonds, there's loads of mentors in the team. If you have a good relationship with your mentor, please respect it and understand what your relationship is and what it isn't. But I'll get into that a bit more later. Now, honor and integrity. Now, honor is to regard someone with great respect, no matter when or where, right? And why I say that is because it's not just about being a good mentor and a mentee in front of your mentor. Sorry, I'll say that again. It's not about being a good mentee just in front of your mentor. That's why I put integrity, right? Integrity is doing the right thing when no one's looking. It's easy. We can all do the right things when people are paying attention. Like how many of us in high school, as soon as our teacher left the room, we're throwing rubbers across the classroom, we're sending messages to our friends, we're talking. We've all done it. Sorry to say that there's no integrity behind that. We're kids at that time, so I'm not judging them, but I'm just explaining to you about integrity. Well, how many of you guys like you say you're gonna wash the dishes, you don't wash the dishes, your mom comes home, now you're washing the dishes because she's home. There's no integrity behind that. So what I mean by this is, yeah, Sherelle knows. So I know you didn't wash the dishes last night. But anyway, um, integrity, guys. It's a lot of the time, why I'm getting into this, a lot of the time, your mentors are going to tell you something that maybe you're not happy with or you don't understand. So yeah, it's easy to go to your friends or your mom or to someone and complain about what your mentor's saying. But there's no integrity behind that. Sorry, not sorry. That's just the honest truth. So the same way you are in front of your mentor is the same way you should be when your mentor's not there. The same respect you give them when they are there is the same respect you give them when they're not in the room. All right. Now, in terms of respect, what is respect in regards of what we're talking about? Feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their accomplishments, abilities, or qualities. Every single one of your mentors has got accomplishments. Otherwise, they wouldn't be your mentor. And the reason you probably look up to them is because you admire that position, you admire those accomplishments, you admire those qualities. So, what best way, like if you admire these things, why not translate it to yourself through the relationship? There's no point hating or being jealous or being envious. All of these traits and qualities you can now get yourself. These people are willing and wishing to give it to you. Like I've said it so many times on calls, right? Rich people don't like to share anything in a sense where anyone you know that's rich outside the business, I'm not sure, I don't know if you guys do or you don't know anyone rich, but anyone rich outside of this business or outside of this industry, they do not want to share their secrets as to how they got where they are. In this game, complete opposite. They do want to give it to you. You get what I'm saying? They're dying to share their secrets with you. So now, for someone that you admire their qualities, you admire their accomplishments, and they want to give it to you, respect the relationship so they can. It's your job to nurture and encourage the relationship also. Your mentor shouldn't be running you down and haven't heard from you in weeks, what's going on? That shouldn't be the case. That shouldn't be the case. So it's your job to nurture and encourage the relationship so that your mentor recognizes the investment, right? Meaning it's in your hands to make them see you as the next leader. It's a business, guys. If there's friendship, cool. We're a family, cool. I understand that. But first things first, it's a business, right? So let's say House of Riches terms. I just mentioned Bonds, right? He's got 500 plus people in the team. He can't spend every minute of the day, turning everyone into a leader. So what have you got to do now in your position? Give him a reason to not ignore you. Give your mentors a reason to contact you. Give them a reason for you to cross their mind. Like, don't just become a number. And I'm not saying anyone is just a number. I'm not saying that. But at the same time, when you got 500 people and 24 hours in a day, make it make sense. You get what I'm saying? So the ways you're going to do that is through communication and through your work. Don't just sit there, not communicating with no one, expecting your mentors to call you, and now all of a sudden you're talking about you're leaving the industry because no one gave you help. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You've got to put yourselves in positions to win. Like we're all here as a team, we're all here as a family, but at the end of the day, you're in control of your own individual business. So that comes that's your responsibility to get noticed, to get seen, to show people who you are. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Now, do's and don'ts. Okay. Now, a mentee, I'm talking to everyone as a mentee at this point. A mentee is someone who is advised, trained, or counseled by a mentor, right? So everything I'm saying to you guys and everything your mentors say to you guys, bear in mind it's advice. No one is ever telling you you have to. We're not your parents, we're not your bosses, we're not that. We're just giving you advice. So it's up to you how you now take that advice. Okay? So do's and don'ts, which is very, very important, right? Now, do's. Listening followed by action and urgency. Do not just listen for conversation's sake, right? Now, I know a lot of people who are good at having conversations, who are good at listening in conversations, but how many of those people are literally applying the action from that conversation and urgently also? I hold my hands up. I used to be one of them that I would listen, I'd act like I'm understanding and I don't. Or I do understand, but I'm not even gonna apply it. It is what it is. I'll be honest. That was a while ago, but that's the honest truth. And then I turned it up a notch and I started to listen in my own time. No urgency. And how do you think that went? You think it went the way I wanted it to? Hell no, it didn't. Of course it didn't. This is urgent business. As soon as your mentor tells you something, get it done. Get it done. Imagine back to your mum telling you wash the dishes and you say, nah, man, I'm gonna do it next week. You would never. Your teacher tells you do your homework, you say, I'm gonna bring it in next month. You would never. So if you wouldn't do it in them situations, why would you do it with someone that's going to change your whole entire bloodline's shebang completely? Makes no sense. Follow urgency. So seek clarity and understanding for everything, right? So a lot of the times your mentor will give you instructions, advice, or something, and you don't understand. If you don't understand, don't argue. Ask. Ask a question. Seek clarity and understanding. Make sure you don't leave that conversation without understanding. Right? Knowledge is power. Now, there is two ways. I used to be this way as well. I used to not understand and still follow through with the action. Okay, that's good. That's good. But knowledge is power. So sometimes when you're doing things and you don't know why, you don't really grow from it. The result might happen, your business might grow, but you might not. So if you as a person want to grow, make sure you gain as much knowledge as possible. How are you going to get that? By asking questions. Simple as, right? Be the greatest student. Be the greatest student and study your mentor. Study the hell out of them. How they walk, how they talk, how they dress, how they smell, their daily habits, their morning routine, what they eat. Study them. I'm not saying copy every single thing, but how are you going to want what someone has and you don't do what they do? How? How does that even make sense? Mr. Joey Money, when he on his first day in the office, he was following Bonds around. Like he was closer to Bonds than Bonds' shadow. Facts. Listening to what he's doing, paying attention to what he's doing. Hence why Joey got the gist of what's going on here very quick. He didn't just sit there shy and timid and wait for someone to come to him. No, he got up and got it. He saw my mentor's there. I'm gonna follow him. Do you mind if I follow you around and see what you do? And all of a sudden, now Joey's 2K. Mental, right? Cool. So, and add value and make life easier for them. And in turn, your life becomes easier. Don't become a nuisance and a headache. Like that's not what we're doing here. Yes, you can go to them with your problems, and yes, they will give you the solutions straight away. But don't be overly stressing them and making their life very difficult. Make their life easier. We're a team. When one helps other, like if one helps the other, I forgot what the saying is. But something about if one helps the other, someone helps you, and it's just a thing that goes around. Like if you make your life, if I make your life easier, you'll make my life easier, and we both have an easier life all of a sudden. And represent them well, guys. I know we're representing our own businesses, but no, we represent a lot of people in life. You're representing your parents, you're representing your family, you're representing your bloodline, you're representing your nation. There's a lot of things that you represent, which I'm not going to get into now, but you also represent your mentors. So when you're out there and you're on the internet or whatever you're doing, it is also a reflection of your mentor. Leadership conversation. If I started using the wrong language in the chat and I'm effing and blinding in the chat, it don't look good on Melando at all. At all. Now, some of you guys might think that's a me and that's a me problem. Not just, no, 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 no. Right? So thank your mentor by just representing them in a good light, all right? Cool. Now the don'ts. Oh, the don'ts. Don't argue and backchat. Arguing with your mentor is something that should never, ever happen, ever in life, right? Or backchat. No, yeah, but, and maybe this, and no. Just listen. Just listen. Do not ask for advice if you're not willing to follow it or take action. That is a waste of time and a violation. There's no respect on that. Why are you asking me a question, knowing I'm going to give you the answer and you're not even going to follow the answer? What is that about? Yeah, that's big disrespect. I'll be honest. Your mentor will feel disrespected if that happens. I'll say it here. They might not tell you that, but it's big disrespectful. Very, very, very disrespectful. Don't ask me if you're not going to listen to my answer. Honestly. And like I said earlier, don't expect or require your mentor to chase you, but we've already spoke on that. Don't seek to validate or discredit your mentor's advice elsewhere. Big red flag. It's what I was saying to you guys about integrity. Don't just play like you respect your mentor in their face, and then behind closed doors you're dissing them. Oh, they told me this, and I don't agree. And like, what are we doing here? No integrity. If you integrity is a thing where if you feel good in life having no integrity, you need God a lot more than anything else. Like integrity is so important, and it's so easy to not be to be a person with no integrity. It's so easy, but where's the value in that? Who wants to be that? Who wants to be a snake and someone that no one can trust? Zero loyalty. Like, where do them people go? Mm-mm. None of us aspire to be them type of people. So please don't bring that into this business. Okay? If your mentor tells you something and you really, really, really have a problem with it, go to their upline. Maybe. Anyone else, big no-no. Big, big no-no. You're doing yourself a big disservice. Because me, if someone came to talk to me about their mentor and they're just slating their mentor and discrediting their mentor, I'm not even listening to what you're saying. I'm actually looking at what you're doing. I'm not even paying attention to your mentor. I'm paying attention to you. This is someone I can't really trust and I don't really want to be around because they're just, bad energy, bad vibes. It's not good. Okay? Now, I said already, bring your mentors low. Oh, no, I said don't bring your mentors problems and not look for solutions or be open to them. Like it's okay, you can bring your mentors your problems, you're meant to. And like I said, you're gonna get a response. You're not just gonna get a good conversation and someone saying, "Yeah, I hear what you're saying." You're gonna get an answer directly. Like I'm saying, we're not actually here to be your friends. Although we are and we're family, and I am a very friendly person. I hope that you guys get that energy from me. But I'm actually here to get you guys results. So I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. If you want to have a conversation with someone that you wants to tell you that what you want to hear, go phone your friends, phone your sibling, you know. And one thing that I really, 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 really wanted to talk about, and this is how this Zoom call actually came about, getting too comfortable that you actually forget what your relationship is. Comfortability. Now, this is something I really want to speak on actually. So let me take a minute to actually to go through this, right? So for me, and this is something that luckily I've got right in life. Not always, not always, but I've got it right in life where I understand who my mentors are, and that is the relationship. Now, on all of our trainings, you've heard once your mentor later on becomes your friend, who later becomes family. But no way for a second at that point do you get comfortable when you forget they're your mentor. That is the big no-no. And I've seen that a lot with people in this team. Sorry, not sorry. If you think I'm talking about you, I probably am. Right? So I'll give you there's a few different examples, okay? I'll give you the best one. So obviously a lot of you know I've been around Bonds a lot recently. Yeah, we went to Crete. Since then, we've been around each other a lot, right? So the comfortability will get a lot greater. So for example, we could be in the gym, right? And I could make certain jokes between me and him. Do you ever think for a second I would make that same joke in front of anyone in business as well, in the office? What do you guys think of this? Have you? I don't know if you've seen it or you haven't seen it, but no, no chance. And I've seen it a lot. It's okay, even with me. It's okay. We're friendly. We're extremely friendly to the point where we want to get you comfortable. But don't for a second overstep it and forget what our relationship actually is. That's where a lot of people go wrong. You're forgetting it. You're getting too comfortable. They're too friendly. Even Sammy. Sammy's one of the most loveliest people on the planet, period. But if she's your mentor, make sure that that is always first and foremost. You know, like bring it back to your parents again. Some of you guys maybe have friendly parents. How does that go? When it's time to tell you off or you're in the wrong, do you listen still? Or do you just crack a friendly joke with them and not listen? Like, what we talking about here? So for me personally, always remember the roots of your relationship, right? So I've got a mentor outside of this who's actually became my brother-in-law in real life. That could have easily led to me not him not being my mentor anymore. We're too close. We're brothers now. No. Why? What? The relationship is just a bonus. You get what I'm saying? It's just a bonus. Make sure that your mentorship and menteeship is always first. It came first, keep it first. It came first, it got you to where you are, keep it that way. Not all of a sudden now we're best friends. I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going to give you the same respect. No. And I've seen, sorry, not sorry, I've seen that way too much in this team where people are getting too comfortable. Not a lot of you, not a lot of you. So don't think I'm talking to everyone. If the shoe fits, wear it. But there's sometimes you guys maybe be making certain jokes or getting too comfortable. That's not what we're here for. Right? So I'm not going to harp too much on that, but just please make sure the relationship that you walk into is the relationship that you walk, we're not even walk out of. We're here for life. Just make sure that always stays the pinnacle, right? That's the top, always. Everything else is just a bonus, all right? Coachability, guys. Do you know coachability is the easiest way to win? And what I mean by that, right? There's nothing that you need to figure out when you join this. Most jobs, you join your job. All right, first you got to do some training. You got to figure out your problems. You got to find out how to do the job. In this industry, you're given all of the answers. The only thing you've got to figure out is are you going to do it or not? And that should be a no-brainer. Hence why you joined. All of the answers and all of the solutions are laid on a plate to you. The only way you've got to win is by being coachable and listening. You got two ears, use it. That's it. You haven't got to figure out nothing. You ain't got to be a genius. You ain't got to be the greatest at maths. You ain't got to be Mr. Popular. You ain't got to be none of these things. You just got to be a good listener. How crazy is that? You can get rich off listening. Does it sound easy or not? All right, cool. Now, I think this is the last page that I wanted to say. Coachability, just the key gems that I want to leave it at, right? So if there's anything that I want you guys to take from the call, is this. When your mentor talks, remember I said this earlier as well, guys. So it's all advice. All advice. No one's telling you you have to do anything. No, it's up to you. We give you the advice. It's up to you whether you take it or not. The end result relies on if you took it or not, right? So with that being said, do exactly as your mentor told you to do. Exactly. Not your own way. No, do what your mentor told you to do. Do it exactly the way they told you to do it and do it as frequently and consistently as advised. Do that for 3 months and come back and tell me mentorship don't work or this company don't work or anything don't work. If you do these three things consistently for 3 months, I guarantee you, they say no guarantees, right? No, I guarantee you you'll rank up. For 3 months, doing these three things, listening to what your mentor says and doing it as frequently and consistently as advised, you're gone. I promise you now. The only reason maybe some of us aren't the ranks that we want to be is because we haven't followed these three things. Me too, included. So also, when I'm saying this to you guys, I'm not just talking to you guys. I'm saying things about myself and things that I'm learning, right? Don't forget that. Until you are fully coachable, especially these three things above, do not ever, ever complain about lack of results. That makes no sense. Until you're coachable, you have no reason to complain. Okay? If you went to the gym, you stood around for 5 hours, you went home, you saw no results, would you complain? No, because you know you didn't put in the work to get the results. It's the same thing here. The exact same thing. If you're not coachable, why should your mentor spend time trying to coach you? Why on earth? Give me one good reason, and maybe you're right, but I guarantee you can't give me one. If you're not coachable, why should your mentor spend time trying to coach you? Bear in mind, your mentor probably has options of people, numerous people that need their help, that are listening to what they're saying. But you expect them to ignore all of these people who are doing what they should be to come and waste time talking to you again and again and again and again. Come on, guys. Come on. Make it make sense, please. Okay? So, the process of being coachable, all right? So, as you know, clearly, there are gaps in knowledge between you and your mentor. It's going to be clear to see what the gaps are. So, it's up to you to fill that in. It's not up to them. All right. So when I talk to Melando and I speak to Bonds and I see just different conversations, and I realized, okay, why am I not on the same level as them? Have I read the same books as them? Have I listened to the same audio books as them as frequently as them? No. So how dare I feel like I should be on their level at this point if I haven't done what they needed or what they've done? It makes absolutely no sense. Okay. So reprogramming your system, that is exactly what's happening. You're reprogramming your whole entire system. So this can feel very uncomfortable as you're going against your usual thought patterns, okay? But stop listening to yourself and you're meant to feel uncomfortable. If you're going through this whole journey and there's no parts of where you're feeling uncomfortable, you're probably doing something wrong. Or there's probably something you're not quite getting right. Oh, let me just change my angle because it needs to charge up. Yeah. Okay. Now, if you think I'm wrong or your mentor's wrong, look at the back office. Look at your back office, tell them to send you a screenshot of theirs and compare. There's a reason why it looks like that, a big reason. Okay. So you might not understand it, hence why I said earlier, seek to find out what experiences have they had, what knowledge do they have that leads to them thinking to the way that they're thinking. They didn't just wake up and think this way, it's their experiences, just like how you did, your experience, right? You'll not always understand or agree with the advice. So this is where trust becomes important, right? This is very, very, very important. So a lot of you guys know my, I'm not saying little cousin, younger cousin is my mentor and my upline, for sure. In the beginning, this is the last company, so I'm not talking about now, but the last company, I didn't always understand and agree. And to be honest, I wasn't very coachable at that time. So it could have been very easy to be like, you know what, he's my cousin, let me not listen. He's younger than me, let me not listen. But no, he's in rooms that I'm not in. He's having experiences that I'm not having. Hence why I need to listen. And all of a sudden, now look, let me know. Things are looking better, okay? And a lot of the time as well, which Bonds could definitely vouch for this, and Melando actually, and Melando, especially in the last company. How many times did I listen to what you guys were saying reluctantly, and then in the end, after I did it, I'm like, oh, now I see why. Now I understand. Now it makes sense. The same thing's gonna happen to you guys. You're not all gonna get it right straight away, I promise. But eventually, and this, like I said, having trust in your mentor, yeah, is key. And I trust my mentors. I'll tell you that for free. So, and each time I've listened to them, There's not been one time, guys. I've been in here for a year and a half. There's not one time I've listened to my mentors and something's gone wrong. Never. Never. But there's been times I've listened to myself and it's gone wrong. Facts. All right? Cool. So relationships. Relationships. So, like I said earlier, to become the best mentor or leader for your team, you must remain the greatest student. Don't feel like you know it all and you're at the top of your team, you're the head of this, and that's cool. You can be the head, but just make sure that you're pouring into them from a cup that's not your own. Does that make sense? So you can run your team, it's fine, but just make sure you're pouring into yourself from somewhere else that goes into them. It's not just all coming from you, because like we said earlier, you do not have all of the answers. So don't act like you do, and don't act like that to your team. You're holding them back. Okay? So the same way you've got fast track to the top, do it with them. It's the same thing. It's so simple. As you progress, also, you have way more to lose. You have much more people depending on you to get it right, and much more people are watching you. You have way more influence. When it's just you and your team, and you decide to go to sleep late, and now you're sleeping till 2 p.m. the next day, it's fine. It doesn't affect no one. You ain't got no one in your team. Now you got people in your team. See the difference? You can't be waking up at that time when someone might need onboarding, someone might need to should be shown how to place a trade, someone might need a freeway call. And I'm just using that as an example as to how your decisions are going to affect your team. And that's just a small decision. Every single decision you make has a domino effect, okay? But I'm just getting you guys to understand the more you progress and the bigger your team is, the more important your decisions become. You might not actually see the full effect of it, but trust me, there is one, okay? So the importance of your decisions are very, very key. The higher you get and the more money you make. Identifying the best mentees. Like we said earlier, you're only going to get to the ranks you guys all want with a team. And what's in those team? Leaders. You're not going to get there without leaders. Impossible. So you need to identify leaders. But how can you identify one if you're a good mentee if you're not one? Do you even know what to look for? Probably not. You attract who you are. You get what I'm saying, guys? So the more you focus on yourself and developing and becoming coachable, the more you actually help your team in a lot of ways, guys. Trust me. It's not just you helping yourself. You're helping so much people just by being coachable. And what's coachable? Listening. Like, come on, man. Seriously. Um, I think that's it. I think that's it for the slideshows. Okay. That's it. Done. But guys, seriously, seriously, I just want you guys to who took notes on this? I'm gonna make sure you guys took notes. Put a one in the chat if you took notes. And cool, perfect. Perfect, perfect. Guys, now seriously, like before I close it, I just want to give you guys that same thoughts that I was saying earlier. Like, there's so many reasons that you could think of to not be coachable. And they're not really valid reasons either. They're just stupidness and it's just your head talking for no reason. But just pay attention that it's a reality and it is there. Like I said, Melando, my younger cousin. How many people are going to listen to their younger cousin? Or how many people could find a reason to not? It makes sense in this business. It's not. He's in rooms that I'm not in. Bonds is in rooms that I'm not in. Sammy's in rooms that I am not in. Having conversations with people I have no access to. What are you going to do? All right. So that's all from me, guys. I pretty much hope you guys took that in seriously. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Just become the biggest student. Listen to your mentors always. And like I said, just do me one thing. Just do me one thing. Just do me one thing. All right. Please, 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 please. How many people are on this call? I don't know how many people. 43, right? These three things, right? These three things here. Do exactly as your mentor told you. Do it the same way they told you to do it, and do it and as frequently and consistently as advised, right? For 90 days, for 3 months. So at the end of January, I want to have the same conversation with you guys. And I bet my life, if you did all of these three things for 90 days, you are not the same rank you are now. I put my life on it. How about that? All right. So 90 days, you guys got a challenge. Screenshot this, write it down, do what you're doing. Do it for 90 days. We'll have a conversation at the end of January. And Nando's is going to be on you because you lot have got ranked up. So it means you're getting paid. So you owe me. But in all jokes aside, appreciate you guys for your time. And yes, that will be it from me, guys. And I'll catch you guys in the chats. Peace and love always, family. Adios, amigos. This guy's a joker.